Hey, hi, hello there. Welcome back to another Anthropologist Watches Amberlynn Reid. And I'm probably going to screw with my microphone a little bit during this because it sounds fuzzy. Quick disclosures, I am an anthropologist slash archaeologist, retired, and I know, I'm too young to retire. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a psychoanalyst. I'm just an anthropologist who has a keen interest in evolutionary diet and human evolution in general. My focus was, that and human osteology. I like bones. I like dirt too. I mean, there's a lot going on here. Probably not going to be discussing either of those two things at any point watching these videos, but there you have it. There's your disclosure. Nothing I say here is professional advice in any way, shape, or form. Please don't run off and be like, I saw on a YouTube video this one time some lady talking about stuff. Yeah, don't do that. That's a bad idea. So we are here to watch Amberlynn's newest video that dropped last night. Honestly, guys, I know she's doing the 15 days of uploading, so I know that's why like the schedule's been more crowded than normal. Usually she does like every other-ish a day. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to her going back to that schedule personally. But that being said, the reason I haven't been putting these out like the day she drops them is just because I just don't have that kind of time in the evenings. So we're going to stick with the schedule. If she drops it in the evenings, I'll record it the next day. And if she drops it first thing in the morning, I'll try to get it knocked out that day too. She seems to be settled into a schedule though, so we don't have to worry about it as much. Just FYI, my cats are wound up, my partner's working from home, and it's apparently yard work extravaganza today. So if there are strange noises in the background, that's why. This is thinking about quitting YouTube. I gained weight and grocery haul. I did watch this last night. I just kind of like let it play in the background while I was watching another show. So I kind of half listened to a lot of this. What else do I need to say before we get started? Oh, thank you to all of my lovely interns and grad students. You will be receiving your assignments soon. That's a joke. Unless you actually want an assignment, I guess. I don't know. But thank you all for joining and supporting the channel. I truly appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who sent a super like. I really appreciate those too. And thank you, everyone who remembers to like and subscribe, because that actually really helps out, as does leaving comments down in the comment section. So as long as the video stays alive in the algorithm, which honestly, liking it and commenting are like the two best ways to keep a video live, I truly appreciate that. So that being said, I can't really think of anything else we need to preamble here, so let's dive in.
Hello guys, it's another daily vlog. I don't know how I'm doing this. I don't know how I'm holding on. I didn't even want to get out of bed today. I think that I am depressed. So I don't even...
When I froze this earlier, because I started it to check the sound. And when I froze it earlier, I did freeze on a face that looked very upset. Not like, normal upset. Just like unhappy, I guess is the word I'm looking for. This is not that frame that I froze on, and I'm not going to sit here and try to find it because it will take forever. But I do think she's genuinely upset about something. So we'll find out, I guess.
I've been like vocalizing that out loud, so we're just going to kind of move past that, but just know that that is the era we are in.
I'm trying to freeze on a picture that isn't terrible.
Currently.
Yeah, okay, this is a good one, actually. She's doing that whole looking out the window thing, but that's because she's thinking about what she wants to say next. But she's got the lips here, this pursed lips and the downturn. Anyway, there we go.
I don't know if you guys hear that, but my upstairs neighbors are, I don't know, making a lot of noise, but that's fine.
That's a hell of a noise. My neighbors get like that too, though. I don't know what the hell he does up there, but every now and then it sounds like he's bouncing like a medicine ball on the floor. And then other times it's just like that. It's just like this vibrating noise. Anyway.
I'm actually about to go weigh myself. I have not weighed myself in a very, very long time. For me, it's a long time. Probably like almost 2 weeks. I don't know. something around those lines. And that's like a long time for me.
And see, that furthers my opinion that it's not that she's lying about her weight. It's that she gets to a weight and she stops weighing herself. And so whatever number was on the scale last, that's the number that's in her head. So it's not, sorry about that. It's not a lie. It's just she doesn't know. And so it's just omission by ignorance, I guess. You get what I'm saying, I think.
So I'm going to weigh myself, and I'm actually joining Lose It. My friend has inspired me.
I'm not joining Lose It.
To count my calories, and I don't know, she has lost so much weight, and it's just like super inspirational. She's been giving me advice, and we joked around about her being my dietitian. It was just...
Well, we all know how that ends. So we've got an inspirational new friend. I wonder if this is the friend from the bar. Or if it's a different friend, or if it's a former friend. Who knows? We don't know about any of these friends.
It's like a whole moment, but I just really need to like get back on track. Okay, the noise has stopped. Because
Yes,
it's just
noticed.
like I have just been eating my feelings, and like I'll have a really good day, and then the next day I'll have like a really bad day with my eating. The noise has started again. I just don't know if you guys can hear it or not, so who knows. But yeah, it's just like my life is just like back and forth, and I'm finding that I have so many different triggers. Like literally someone said the word fry in their video, and it made me want to order Shake Shack
She is touching her face a lot. I've noticed in this right now.
fries, and I'm just like, oh my god, I need to like slow my roll. So I'm gonna go weigh myself, and I'm dreading it with every part of me because I am insanely swollen. Like I don't think I've been this swollen in years. So I've also been doing a lot more walking, and I'm not just blaming it on the walking. I just want to say like, yeah, I've been eating like crap, so that is why I'm swollen. But I will say that usually when I eat like crap like this, I also am not like trying to move more. So it's like my body is like confused because it's like, okay, you're eating like crap, but you're moving your body more. So my lymphedema is just like super swollen. So
You got to move it, move it. I don't believe she's going on the walk she's saying she's going on. I think she thinks she's being more active, but I mean, self-reporting is like the worst form of evidence. So in her mind, I think she is more active. In reality, I don't know. I just don't believe it. I just don't. Given her history, I don't believe it.
So it's like, damn. Okay, I just weighed myself. I took off all my clothes, put them back on, obviously. I am a little bit shocked. Not gonna lie. Wow. I just feel super pathetic. Pathetic. Yeah, that's the word for it. So I'm signing up for Lose It now.
What is Lose It? I mean, I know obviously it's some kind of weight loss app. Top rated weight loss plan. Ooh, I can do it for free? It's just another calorie counter. Weight loss made easy. Water tracking, macro tracking, device integration, patterns and reports. You might have me at patterns and reports. I do like data. I do like a nice report. Does have a scanner feature. Ooh, and a smart camera. I mean, it's free, but it's just another... Oh, you can hear the birds. Yes. I am 165. I would like to be 140. I'm 5. Did that actually register? That went by so fast. 1,300 calories? Are you fucking kidding me? No. That's ridiculous. I eat, on average, between 1,700 and 1,900 calories in a day. And up until I started doing Weight Watchers, I lost weight. This is a ridiculously low number. I can't even imagine how I would eat in this deficit. That's ridiculous. Yeah, It's just another nutrition. It's just another calorie counting app. I've already got one. I can set it up the way I want it to set. It looks like that number was so incredibly low because I didn't put in an end date. It just kind of assigned me one as November.
And they're asking like a bunch of questions. This one is, why did you decide to get started with Lose It today? And there's like multiple choice. I guess I'm gonna click the one that says I'm unhappy with my weight. How important is it for you to lose weight right now? It's my top priority. How do you feel about being here? The options are excited, hopeful, hesitant, frustrated. I'm not sure. I'm gonna click frustrated because I'm so mad at myself. So what is your current weight? Oh my God, wow. So you scroll like all the weights. See that, like how you scroll and stuff?
I hate that.
When you're my...
I don't know who started doing that crap, but I hate that. What happened to just being able to type a number in? How is the scrolling easier than typing?
Scroll like all the weights. See that, like how you scroll and stuff?
Oh,
when you're my size, you have to scroll for a hot minute. So I...
That's why I don't like it. Like, not that I have to scroll that far, but like they always start you at like 1. And then they want to know like the year you were born. And so you've got to scroll like a million freaking times when I could just type it in and be done. Anyway.
Weighed in today at 537.0. Yeah, I'm really sad about that. So now I have to pick
we've been telling you you've gained weight. I don't know why you're acting like A, you're surprised, or B, you're shocked.
Wait, you guys already know. 199. So you guys remember when I wanted to lose the 56 pounds before
She's unhappy. Something's wrong. I noticed it in her lips right there, and like, this is not the best face to be frozen on. Let's see if I can get there. Yeah, she's not happy about something. I don't know what. I mean, I guess we could blame the breakup. That seems to be the default excuse, but I don't know. I don't buy it. She's unhappy though. Something's got her off.
I moved. I never explained why I chose that amount.
Weights.
It's because I wanted to reach 468, and 468 or like around there was the lowest I got while I was on Ozempic. And
why did she stop Ozempic again? Because of her gallbladder? It was her gallbladder, wasn't it?
Wanted to get back to that point. And it's like now before I move, I'm gonna have to like create a whole new goal or just like not even have a goal. I don't even know. Like, I just feel so defeated right now. Wow.
I understand feeling defeated, but it's not like she's been doing anything towards any sort of a goal.
To reach my all-time goal, I have to lose 338 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This heartbreak era situation type deal is not doing me any good. No, it's not. I need to like really snap out of it, figure it out, because this ain't it. This ain't it. I cannot let this be the end of me. Hello.
It is your ongoing excuse right now. You'll find something else to be your ongoing excuse when this is over. We're all a little tired of it though. So, I mean, if you're motivated to stop kvetching about it, I'm here. Also, God, I miss Meyer. Meyer was the best. We don't have anything like Meyer around here, and I miss Meyer so much. If we ever get a Meyer, and I really hope we do someday, I'm just gonna be the happiest little clam in the ocean.
Hello, we have a grocery haul.
Yay.
We do. We have tons of groceries. So I'm gonna show you the stuff that I got for myself. I just dropped a jar of salsa. That's fun. I think it's okay though. So I got a jar of salsa. I got some of these like Think protein bars. They're 150 calories with 10 protein.
They're candy bars. I don't care. They're candy bars. I don't care how much protein they have in them. I don't care. They're candy bars. They're just high protein candy bars. And it's fake protein anyway, so.
Salted caramel. Figured I'd give that a try.
Why don't they ever make those and they're like beef and broccoli flavored, or, black pepper chicken, or I would eat those. I would eat a savory bar. Well, I guess candy bar. I would eat a savory candy bar. I just wish they would make that bacon flavored. People love bacon. Why don't we have bacon flavored protein bars that aren't literally just chunks of meat is what I'm saying. I want the fake bacon flavor, I guess is what I'm telling you.
Got some more mustard.
Of course.
I needed some more sponges for the dishes.
Scrub Right makes a biodegradable sponge. It's brown. It's made out of like coconut husk and something else. I go through those like crazy. They will start to break down in your sink if you use them for too long, but I highly recommend those over these because these don't break down. So, and they're not any more cheap. They're not any more expensive than the regulars are if you're buying a name brand anyway. And Wegmans, for those of you who are blessed to have a Wegmans near you, Wegmans has an off-brand that is essentially the same thing and is cheaper. So highly recommend a better sponge. Those things, they just gather crap inside of them anyway. So you either need to like bleach the F out of them or throw them away routinely because otherwise they're just like little petri dishes.
So I got some of those. I got some light mayo because I want to make some tuna salad.
I only eat Kewpie mayo now, which is the exact opposite of whatever light mayo might be. I do keep like just plain olive oil mayo in the fridge for when I don't want to be fancy. If you've never had Kewpie mayo, do yourself a favor, assuming you can tolerate mayo, and go get yourself some. It will change the way you view mayo.
I got some Dawn dish soap. I got a bag of Fuji apples.
Not my
which
favorite.
I will be putting in the fridge.
I don't like apples
because they last longer and taste better that way. I got 2 bags of this sweet kale like salad kit.
Sweet kale? I'm all for these chopped kits. I eat them myself. I don't typically use whatever they usually have like a salad packet, like a salad dressing packet inside of it. But 1 bag is basically a serving. I know it doesn't say that, but like if you want to actually be full, 1 bag's basically a serving. They're kind of expensive, but in a pinch, like when I was working a lot and I didn't have a kitchen, hotel living, these things were great because you usually had a fridge. So you go and you stock up on these and then you just open one when you get home and you can eat it right there. A couple of the people I knew would bring these into the field. I'm not a big fan of warm, like lukewarm greens, but I didn't have to eat them. So 'tis what it is.
Literally delicious. I got 2 white onions. I got a thing of...
We have already had the onion discussion. We have all been educated on onions at this point. That was actually kind of fun, actually. I enjoyed that
celery and carrots that are already cut up and little stick variety.
I'd go after her for this because she's buying a lot of like processed vegetables and stuff, which clearly you could do at home yourself. But like with the vegetable sticks, I do that just because if I buy a head of celery, I guess, even if I chop it up myself, it tends to go bad quickly. Like I won't eat it as fast as it will rot, basically. And I do the water thing where you change the water out daily or whatever to keep it fresh. But it's honestly cheaper and easier to just buy the smaller pre-cut ones for me if I'm going to eat them. I don't eat celery sticks that frequently, and I'm not a huge carrot fan, so that's not an issue. So for her, if this gets her to eat more of that, we'll see, then I'm all for it. It's kind of like the chopped bag thing. You can make your own chopped salad and probably make it taste better, but if it gets her eating it more, that's fine.
I got a bag of the buffalo wings veggie.
Of course you did.
Vegetizer, Morningstar, veggie nugget type deal. I love these so much. I also got this plant-based Dr. Praeger's, which I've had the black bean one, but they didn't have it. So I decided to try the Fiesta Burger.
I've had the Dr. Praeger's Fiesta Burger. It's pretty good, but again, it's garbage. It's processed garbage food. It just says it just happens to be also vegan. I'm not even positive it's fully vegan. I could be wrong. I mean, I like a good veggie burger here and there, so I'm not against it. It's processed garbage food. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's got 17 17 grams of protein and 4 varying vegetables in it. It's garbage food.
So I got those as well. I've been obsessed with turkey kielbasa. So I got 2 more of those.
Sausage. Okay. I like a kielbasa, but that thing is basically just meat flavored salt in a skin. Again, in a pinch, and those are very cheap. And I mean, I grew up on those, so I'm not coming for people who eat them, but she's capable of buying better food. And that's just, you could actually buy like actual kielbasa sausage from the actual like meat counter where it's not just processed within 5 inches of it live. I don't even think that's like meat in there anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. So it's just, in this situation, it's just garbage food for her. It's just more garbage food.
I also got some of the tuna packs.
I'm not going to go after the tuna packs. I've lived off of those in the past. Again, when I used to work out in the field, those things are a lifesaver bomb diggity because you just throw those in your little lunchbox and they're sealed. They're usually pretty heat resistant, so you don't have to worry about it like going bad while you're working. And when you're ready to eat, you just tear the top off and just eat straight out of the bag. There's not a lot of water in those, and it's not a lot of BS to like eat, you know? So it is a convenience thing though. Would I rather have it out of a can? I don't honestly know. Those little bags are pretty convenient, but a tin can be recycled-ish if you believe in recycling. I'm kind of fence sitting on that one. But yeah, so there you go. There's my thoughts on tuna.
Love me a tuna moment. Got some carb balanced tortillas. I got a thing of eggs because I want to start having eggs again.
I swear to God, she was going to drop those. I was like, oh God.
It's been a minute, I'll tell you. So I love the loaded cauliflower little bite thingies that I tried, but they didn't have the kind that I tried. So I had to
Oh my God, this is the end of the world. They didn't have the garbage food that you wanted. Whatever will you do? You couldn't possibly not eat them.
Different kind. This one is in Southwest style. I got 2 bags. I am hoping for the best because you never know.
We wouldn't want you to eat something you don't like. So you totally, without knowing if you like them or not, should have stocked up on 19 million bags of it. What are you going to do if you don't like them? They're frozen. You can't just hand them off to somebody. They can't live in your pantry for the rest of eternity. And I don't know why I'm worried. She's going to like them fine.
I got some Mexican shredded cheese.
Nom,
I got
nom.
a thing of wild caught pink salmon. These are fillets, skinless and boneless. Love me.
Do I believe she's going to eat the salmon? I buy salmon like that too, so no shade. Also, I can't have real cheese anymore. Not in large quantities. Makes me sad.
A salmon. Last but not least, I just got these like little cups of cottage cheese, just individual.
I used to eat those too because they're convenient. Again, I lived in a hotel for a long time. I don't like them because they're the small grain and it's like eating sand. I'm not a huge fan of them. I would rather have 4% if I'm going to eat cottage cheese. So if you like small curd stuff, that thing is right up your alley. If you're not a small curd cottage cheese fan, you're not going to like that thing. It doesn't even taste like cottage cheese because it's like, I think, super low fat on top of it. And then it's like cat litter. It's just so grainy. It's awful. And now you know, there you go.
Packs because they didn't have like the daisy kind that I usually get. So that is everything. And I'm going to put it all away. Hello. Okay.
Hi.
So I've also decided to obviously do some intermittent fasting with my calories.
Obviously. Okay.
Because when I do that, it just helps me not think about food for a large majority of the day. And that's like nice to
I'm going to tell you something. I intermittent fast, and it is what? What time is it? All right, it is actually time for me to eat. For the last half hour, I have been starving. It does not help me not think about food. I'm just stubborn, and I'm like, I'm losing this weight that I earned on Weight Watchers, and that's how it's going to be.
That feeling of knowing like, girl, you don't get to eat. Like, this is your fasting hours. So far, I'm doing really good. Out of my 1,800 calories, I've had 792, and I still have about 6 more hours that I'm able to eat.
She's making this up. Also, 1,800 calories for her is way too low. Again, that's the midpoint for me to lose weight at. So, but I'm also active. I found out if I'm active, I get to eat more food. So I started being active so I could eat more food.
It's like beyond easy for me to even eat 1,800 calories in one sitting. A lot of people don't realize that they do that. Like, calories.
Who are these a lot of people you're talking about? I am trying to think of the last time I ate roughly 2,000 calories in a sitting. That wasn't like Thanksgiving or Christmas. And even then, the stuff I usually make for the big meals, we eat a lot of vegetables with a lot of like sauces and stuff. But even then, I think I would be hard pressed to eat 2,000 calories in one sitting. I know it can be done if you're eating nothing but, again, fast food and garbage. But if you're eating the food that she wants us to think she's eating, I don't know how you manage that other than like forcing yourself to eat it.
These are sneaky little fellas. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm just like at that point where I'm just like, I have to do this, like in the same way that I have to breathe. I have to wake up and shower. I have to take Twinkie outside. I have to feed my animals. I have to take care of them. I have to do my job. I have to do YouTube. I have to be an adult. I have to do adult things. Like,
so what I think is happening here, because I know a lot of people are like, you don't shower, and I'm one of those people. I think what's happening is she's, you know how sometimes you'll sit down and you're like, I need to get out of a rut, or I want to improve my whatever. And you sit down and you make your ideal daily schedule, you know, and you start at like, I'm going to get up at 7 a.m. in the morning and I'm going to have a cup of coffee. And then at 8 a.m., I'm going to eat breakfast, or at 8 a.m., I'm going to do some light yoga and then eat breakfast afterwards. And then at 9, I'm going to walk the dogs. And then at 10, I'm going to do something else, you know, and you list out this perfect day, and you list out all of the things that you think a perfect adult does. And it's one of those things that, at least I've always been taught to do, is you make the perfect outline and then you go, well, it's not going to be perfect, but it's kind of like a roadmap kind of a thing. I think that's kind of what she's doing here more than anything. No one believes that she does this, and that's the problem, because no one believes that she showers every morning. No one believes she walks the dog because we don't see her do it. I don't think any of those cats have ever been brushed, just judging by their coats. Especially the older they get, the rougher their coats get, and the more they need you to help them maintain it, especially the long hairs. Trust me, I know. But in her head, you know, she's like, I've been being an adult. These are the things an adult does in Amber's head, which is good. These are things adults should do. But she's listing out what she thinks an adult is in her head. And this goes back to the reinvention of Amberlynn, the New-lynn. The New-lynn is an adult. And to be an adult, they must do X, Y, and Z. And that's, I think, when she does this kind of like listing the things she does in a day, like breathing, it's as natural to me as breathing and showering and feeding the dog and going for a walk and these things that you don't do. You breathe, clearly, and I hope you feed the dog. But these aren't necessarily things that she actually does. They're things she's trying to achieve, I think. And this is New-lynn. So that's what we're seeing here, is the invention of New-lynn and the implementation of it. Is it going to work? I don't know. I the non-cynical the non-cynical part of me wants that to be true. I want her to turn around, but we're calorie counting again. We're using a new app because a new app is somehow better. It is free from what I can tell. So if people are interested in that one, it does have a premium feature. I just finished downloading it. No, I haven't. Wow, that thing's huge apparently. It's taking forever to download. So I'll look at it, but I'm not, I already have a calorie tracking app that I've used forever. Why would I use a new one? So there's that. But yeah, this is just, is she adrift in the sea without any kind of guidance? Maybe, but how is that different than normal? So I don't know. Maybe she is actually putting a plan together. Every time I do a rune reading, it says something to that effect. So she's got a plan somewhere. Is it a good plan? I don't know. Will it work? I don't know. But she's got a plan.
I need to think of my weight loss in the same way. Something that I like have to do. It's not like a choice. Yeah. And for so long, it's just like my mental illness and whatever it may be, it just made me feel like, oh, it was a choice. And even though like I subconsciously knew it wasn't, I don't know. I'm just like in a spot, folks, a spot of confusion. I feel lost. I just feel overwhelmed. I feel so overwhelmed, like beyond belief. And I do want to.
I believe her. I believe when she says that. I do. I think she's being genuine there. But we all feel that way sometimes. Again, it's lack of planning though. I don't know why she's surprised she's in this situation.
Say like, I prefer taking Delta 8 over Delta 9 because Delta 9 is what gave me the munchies, is what I noticed. And then it was when I switched to the Delta 8, that is when I don't really get the munchies as much. So thank God. And then I
thought you just figured out what the dose was that you don't get the munchies anymore on. Which is it? Did you figure out your perfect dose, or were you actually doing 9 and now you're doing 8? 8? I'm sorry. I will stop doing that. But this is again, we're back to this. So has anyone noticed any major change in behavior from Amber?
I ended up like Googling it and like looking it up, and like that's actually very common for people. So every time that I spoke about Delta 8, I didn't always mean Delta 8. There was a lot of times I was also taking like Delta 9.
So you were taking Delta 8 and Delta 9 at the same time? That seems like a bad idea. I don't know anything about these, but it seems like it's either pointless because it does the exact same thing, or it seems maybe slightly dangerous because I know you can't really overdose on that, on like THC, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that's maybe not the best idea, but that's me. I don't know. Again, I don't do it, so I don't know. It just seems like a terrible idea. And
Delta 9 is definitely more strong. Gave me the munchies hardcore. So I knew I had to stop taking that because the munchies, like, it's not going to help me in the long run.
In my comments section, someone was pointing out that Delta 9 actually has THC in it at an incredibly small percentage amount. And Delta 8 does not. And I guess that's the difference is this. And I think, unfortunately, this comment's going to be buried at this point. But that was my understanding of the difference. If that is true, it would make sense that the Delta 9 would give you the munchies and Delta 8 would not, because THC is very commonly used with people who are like cancer patients or are undergoing some very traumatic medical conditions where they lose their appetite. They'll use THC to get their appetite back so that they'll actually eat. So I could see that. I could see why, if it's not present in Delta 8, why a Delta 8 would not give you the munchies. Does that make sense to everybody?
So I just need to like be proactive. Like if I want to take THC, I have to be proactive and like responsible while doing it. Hey guys, so
Are you taking THC or are you taking Delta 8? Because it is my understanding that the whole reason why you can buy the Delta products without a medical license or illegally is because they don't have THC, or the concentration of it is below the legal limit. So which is it? This is why people have such a hard time with you, because you misspeak and you don't correct yourself. I understand misspeaking, but correct yourself as soon as you notice. And I guess that's what this was her correcting herself weeks later. Anyway, I still do not at all believe she's doing any of it. So there's that.
I just did some dishes and put away some clothes and walked Twinkie. I've been trying my hardest to pack more.
When did it become clothes?
It's just packing, I don't know, me packing memories. Like those things are just not good, because like every object I own gives me a memory or makes me think of like one day when Feline and I won't be living together. And
you got to Maria Kondo that stuff, man. You just need to sit down, make your little piles, Marie Kondo the crap out of that, let it go. It no longer serves me. Thank it for its existence, set it off to the side, move on with life. Your life is not objects. It is not the crap you collect. Those are just objects to remind you of things that you have done. You don't need those. Take a picture with your phone. You know, that kind of a stuff.
And that's just like,
I'm not a minimalist.
But I was actually just like sitting here taking a break from all that. And I was journaling. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of journaling. It has helped so much. Even my therapist is like, I'm proud of you.
No, they're not.
I'm like, thank you. But I was journaling more about just like my weight, because today's weigh-in really got to me for sure. And it correlating with YouTube. Like I wanted to really focus in and be like, is YouTube the reason why I am over 500 pounds? And I had to like go down memory lane. Me and memories, hate those, but I had to go back down memory lane. And I was like, what is the highest weight that I reached while having like an outside job? And that was actually about 480 pounds, 490 pounds. I was a PCA worker. I worked at a assisted living facility when I was pretty much.
She did, you guys. And she did. She's just like very adamant that you know that fact. She did. There's evidence of that. Was she full-time? I don't think she was. I think she was part-time. And I don't know exactly how long she worked there. I feel like it was less than a year. I could be wrong.
Almost anyway. 500 pounds. So I can't blame YouTube. I can't. No matter where I've been in life, whether it was working a 9-to-5 or whether it was going to college or whether it was high school, or no matter what job, no matter what walk of life I've had, I've always turned to food. Like it doesn't matter. Because I was sitting here and I was wondering, I was like, should I get a different job? Like, should I stop YouTube as a job?
I am here for job hunting, Lynn. I am here for it. If this woman gets a job before I do, I'm going to give up on the job market altogether. I will just give up. So
personally, I would never stop uploading because I love the connection between me and my supporters so freaking much.
Your parasocial relationships.
Plus, I just love the act of filming. Like, I love filming. I love editing. Like, the whole act of it is just so fun to me. So I was like sitting here and I was like, should I go try to do something else? Like, build more routine, just more of a routine. And I was like, that has nothing to do with the reason why I am the way I am. Because I was
actually, yeah, it has a lot to do with it. Your routine probably is, well, whatever routine you actually have, I don't know, but or even the lack thereof really does affect how you move through the day. Like, she doesn't have, in my mind, a routine, or if she does, it's a very inactive one. You know, if she had a routine where she, well, yeah, even going to work, if she had a routine where she had to be someplace, you know, every day at a certain amount of time, for most people, that would be motivating to get up and get out and at least, you know, like actually take a shower, you know, maybe actually do your makeup, change your clothes. You know, most people don't want to go out and look like they're living out of a pile. I don't know what to, I mean, my point being, I think a routine would benefit her. I don't think whatever she's calling her routine right now is an actual routine. It's just kind of a rut. And she doesn't know the difference. So
I was a PCA worker, and then I did data entry. Like, I was doing all these jobs, and I was still massively
you didn't do data entry. You went through the training and then you quit.
Gaining weight. And I had a bunch of friends. I had a social life like every day. And I was still just like gaining weight steadily. Like, you can even see that. Like, there's proof, especially like in the Florida era when I lived in Florida. I was never, ever home. Like, I was always out. I was either working, hanging with family.
You were either working, eating at a restaurant, working, eating at a restaurant, mostly eating at a restaurant.
With friends. I was always doing something, and I was just gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining.
Yeah,
so my weight has nothing to do with routine or...
I will stand by her weight has a lot to do with routine. I will stand by that. She has a crap routine. This is what it looks like when you have either no or a poor routine. There's a reason why people recommend that kind of stuff, because it does motivate you and keeps you on track when you don't have motivation, so that you don't fall into this. If you have a routine and you've fallen off your routine, just get back on it. It's okay. Just go like, yep, that happened, and get back on your routine. The routine is not going to judge you. The routine will always be there for you. It will welcome you back because it is non-judgmental. It is not even a thing. It is the thing that you do to keep yourself on track.
Am I busy or am I social? None of those things. It has nothing to do with that. And it has everything to do with like food follows me everywhere. Like, me needing comfort comes from any situation, any era of my life, anything that I've been through. It's always been food. It's been the only freaking constant. And I hate it so much because I was almost hoping that it was YouTube that made me this big. As crazy as that sounds, because it's like, that's easy to fix. That's something I could fix. But the fact that it's not YouTube and it's not something I could just be like, okay, let's take a break from that and move on to a different journey in my life. No, like, my weight has always been a problem. Always. I was 290 pounds when I was 11. I was 420 pounds when I was 16. I was about 25, 26 when I finally reached like 490. And that was when I was like working routine based all the time. So it's just like, through journaling, I'm really trying to figure out like the next steps in my life, because your girl is lost. And I know I said that earlier today, but I really am. And I'm trying to find the right path for me, because I'm like at a fork in a road. It's like not a bump, like it's a fork, and I have so many paths and ways and things to choose, and I don't know.
If this was anyone else, literally anyone else, I would be like, yeah, man, you're saying the right things. You're looking at it the right way. You're right. You should do that. You know, this isn't as hard as you think it is. You know, you do have all these options and you can do this. I believe in you. You know, here's, you know, you've got resources out the wazoo. You can totally do that. I'm sorry, this is grabbing my hair again. Got to figure out a better way to do this. Her? What is it? The saying, the past is prologue. I mean, the best way to know what someone's going to do in the future is to look at what they've done in the past. Okay? For her, these are just, in my opinion, it's just wishful thinking. I'm not saying she doesn't want this stuff or she doesn't believe that this is what she needs, but it's just wishful thinking. She has all the tools. She's got the day planners. She's got a new calorie tracker. You know, she's got access to the computer. She's got enough money to go to a gym, hire a trainer. She has all the tools she needs. She even has most of the knowledge she needs, I would say. Like, she says the right things. But once it gets to that point where she has to put effort forward, where she has to actually do the thing, that's where it all falls apart. She has no interest in actually changing and actually doing the things that need to happen in order to not even lose weight at this point, just to change her life, just to change her mindset, to change her routine, to get out of her rut, to improve her mental health. She won't even do that. If she won't even do these basic steps, there's no way in hell she's ever going to lose weight, because that's even more effort, because you have to monitor every damn thing that you eat and drink in her case, you know? So she's never going to do this, even though she has the tools and she has the knowledge, you know?
It's just crazy, honestly. A lot of people ask,
crazy.
like, so you were in foster care, like, how did you get so big? Like, you didn't have money, like, you grew up with poor parents. Like, yeah, it's definitely crazy, because one of the reasons why I was taken
It's really not that uncommon
from my parents is neglect. And that comes with all forms. Like, I remember when my mom came to visit me when I had cancer, and we talked so much about, like, the finances when I was, like, younger, before I was put in foster care. And, like, I only had one pair of pants. Like, my dad would have rather spent money on getting high in whatever form that he wanted than buy his own kids, like, clothing and stuff. And that also goes with, like, food and this and that. But, like, when I finally did have food, or it was like a standard meal, it was really unhealthy, and I would eat a lot, and I would sneak any sort of food that I could, especially once I, like, got into, like, group homes and foster homes and stuff. Like, I would steal food. Like, sometimes money has nothing to do with being bigger at all, because all the foster homes I was ever in, group homes, like, that's not like a money heavy place. Like, it's always been very poor, like, low income place. And that's how I grew up. That's, like, based on my experiences. And, like, another really good example, like, I had, like, barely any money. Like, let's be real, when I reached almost 500 pounds, like, I wasn't really making that much money, like, maybe a couple thousand. Like, money has nothing to do with why I am the way I am. Like, me having a lot of money here on YouTube isn't the reason why I am the way I am.
I know what she's trying to say, and I agree with her up to a point. There's a large correlation between obesity and poverty, and it mostly revolves around access to non-garbage food. Some people live in things like food deserts. Those do exist. And the most accessible form of food that they have is usually like a fast food, a something, you know, which fast food is very expensive. I know people will like to argue with me about that, but even the dollar menu and stuff, if you're feeding a family off of that, it's still very expensive. And it's not even a dollar menu anymore. So there's that. But fast food itself is very expensive. And if you're already living in a low income situation, you're already probably, your income's probably pretty taxed just getting shelter. And then if you have any kind of, like a car or anything, a lot of states, it's really expensive to have a car and insure a car. And if you're from someplace like Indiana, we don't have mass transit. I mean, yeah, we have buses and stuff, but I mean, if you want to spend 3 hours going the same distance that it would take 20 minutes in a car to go, I guess. And for some people, that's the reality. So there's a huge correlation, not huge. There's a very well-known correlation between poverty and obesity. This is overconsumption, this here. I know she's saying, like, when she was only making like $1,000, I think she meant off of YouTube, not as her income. She didn't specify, you know, if that was a month, a week, whatever. But during, well, the Destiny era is when her channel really started, like, making money, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I know in the Destiny era, pretty much every clip I ever see of her, she's eating out. And it's not just like fast food eating out. It's like restaurant eating out. And if fast food is expensive, restaurant food is even more expensive. So she's spending more money. She spends most of her money on food. She still does, I think, spend a significant chunk of her income on food. You know, the poverty doesn't have anything to do with it. It does. And also as soon as Amber had access to her own money and could spend her own money, she spent it on food. I think personally, if Amber back in the day had curbed her eating out and actually like cooked in, she would have still been in the lower income brackets. I'm not going to try to say like she'd be a millionaire. But she would have had more income, more disposable income, if she hadn't constantly been eating out and spending probably all of their discretionary funds eating out. And don't get me wrong, Destiny didn't help, okay? I'm not absolving Destiny of anything. I don't like Destiny. I never have liked Destiny, and there's absolutely nothing any of you will ever say or do that will make me like Destiny. I think she's trash. She's even admitted it herself. I don't like Destiny. But Amber really did. And I think it's one of those situations. I think that was an incredibly toxic relationship for probably both of them. And I think it's one of those situations where Destiny would ask for something and Amber would just give it if she could. And that lasted all the way into the Becky era. Because Amber took quite a while to get over Destiny. So yeah, being poor probably did contribute to this. Her whole thing about stealing food from the homes, and even though those were not wealthy situations, I mean, they still had food. The whole point of a foster situation is that they provide. I've never been a foster. I've never had a foster. I've not actually done any research into this. If you foster, let me know. But it's my understanding that you're given a income for each child that you're taking care of, because the point is you're supposed to buy food and clothes and shelter for these kids that you're now taking care of. You know, it's basically child support. That's my understanding. My point being is that even though these were poor homes that she was in, food was always available. She was never not without food when she was in the foster system. And I do believe that when she was home, she had a rough home life. I mean, I don't have any reason not to believe her stories, most of the stories she tells about her childhood, because this is the behavior, this is the end result of that kind of a childhood. I know people want to give her shit for stuff, but you have to understand this is an end product. And at some point, Amber was a child, okay? And Amber did not have a fair shake. Does that mean we should forgive her everything she does in life? No, but it does mean that you need to be more understanding about why we're here, okay? So that being said, I think if she got into a routine, an actual routine with like healthy steps in it, I think she would be doing a lot better mentally and physically. That's my point. Amber has access to all of these things that she needs to change her life. She's just not going to do them. Do I think she actually feels lost and she's wallowing and she wants to change and she thinks that, you know, it's kind of like with the weight loss thing. You know, I'm hopeful that these things will happen. Well, you have to like contribute a little to these things happening. And I don't think she's there yet. I don't know if she'll ever be there. Some people never come out of this. I know everybody's like, oh, she's got to hit rock bottom. Some people don't have a rock bottom, you guys. That's just the reality of the situation. What rock bottom is she going to hit? She's not an alcoholic. She's not a drug user. She eats food, but she's not going to stop doing that. She makes plenty of money off of this YouTube channel, like plenty. I know everybody's like, oh, her views are down. So she still makes more money than probably all of us just from the old videos on her channel. Okay? She's fine. There's no rock bottom for her. Her rock bottom is going to be she just doesn't wake up one day. That's going to be her rock bottom. And you don't recover from that. I hate to be morbid, but
no matter how much money I have, food is my comfort regardless. And that is proof. My experience in my life is proof of that. I think what I'm trying to ultimately say is like, this is my fault that I have chosen food as a comfort and I've kept it as my comfort. So now
I don't know if it's your fault that you chose food, because I think that's giving too much agency to what happened, but it is your fault that you continue to do it. Does that make sense?
Now it's like formed into a massive addiction. And I am blaming myself and nobody else but myself. And that's kind of like freeing. It makes me want to just like take steps further to do better and be better.
Honestly, again, if this was coming from anyone else, I would be like, yeah, you've had a breakthrough. Good on you, you know, yay. I've watched her do this exact same speech at least 3 times that I can think of, or maybe not the exact same, but like not verbatim, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But she's done this at least 3 times that I can think of. What is it? Past his prologue.
And I don't want to blame outside things like YouTube or money. Like, that's crazy.
Editing, like,
I think I said everything I need to say about what we were just doing there. Introspective Lynn is in the house. I like that we're doing accountability, and we're taking onus of our bad habits. In anyone else, that would be great. These would be very positive step forwards. This would be reason to have hope. It's Amber. And again, this is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 10th time that we've heard her do this. So, and it would be different if each time she had done that, like something minor had changed and improved, but it doesn't. Nothing changes. Nothing improves. If anything, it gets worse. And I mean, she was just 2 videos ago. No, not even 2 videos ago. Last video, blaming the reaction channels for something, I forget. And then being butthurt because Alex didn't kiss her ass. And I'll be generous. I give it a week before we get another video where she's basically yelling at her audience. That's the downside to Amber doing these long challenges, is she starts to run out of content and she starts to get frustrated. And so that's when because remember at the beginning of this, she's typical beginning Amber. Amber likes to begin things. And so she's happy. She's finding things to make her videos interesting. She's putting effort forward to make the videos interesting, whether you thought they were interesting or not. There was at least variety within them. And now we're getting close to the end, right about where I thought she was going to like bail. This is day 13-ish. Yeah, because yesterday was day 12 for me. So now we're getting to the point where she's out of material. She's tired of putting forth the effort. For her, the effort is turning on the camera, and we should be grateful for that. But that's what happens on these challenges, is like she starts off really good. It starts to peter out. Around the point where it starts to peter out, she'll start blaming the audience for not appreciating her. And then it's a downward spiral from there to, basically blaming reaction channels for everything, getting a nasty attitude with her audience, yada, 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 yada. And then the challenge is over or she gives up. So that's usually the pattern that I've noticed with these, which is kind of why I wish she wouldn't do these. So down in the emoji section, if you would put don't they have little emoji heads that are like different careers? I think it's things like police and nurse and fireman and that kind of thing. But down in the comments section, leave your favorite job/career emoji in the comments section. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you've made it this far, you might as well subscribe. You keep coming back, so you may as well subscribe. If you'd like to become a member, there should be a link in the description box, and you can either be an intern or a grad student. I do love my interns and I love my grad students. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of you yet, but I kind of like have these ideas I've got planned. I think they'll be fun, or you'll hate them, and then we won't do them anymore. But do be sure to like and subscribe. Please like, at least. And leave a comment down below, either the emoji or leave an actual comment. I know I said a lot in this one, so if you have comments about something that I may have said that I don't remember right off the bat, I'm more than happy to have a discussion with you. And yeah, so I will see you guys in the next one, which will probably be tomorrow. Bye!